Hello, Amber Motherfucking Lewis, and welcome to your Club of Cottontails. Thank you for realizing that you needed some extra moisture before heading to Hosie Posie for this wonderful Saturday. It is Saturday, it is October 17th, 2020, and I have so many thoughts and feelings about this weekend. I'm definitely glad that I have Hosie Posie, my therapist. I have therapy this morning. Very happy about that. And it's currently almost 7:40, so this meeting's going to be very mini. If you've tuned in on Saturday mornings when I have therapy, you already know that if a meeting happens, it's just a minute meeting to help me to relax, to digress, to maybe have a conversation with someone, because getting to chat with someone is a great distraction. I'm also going to get some medicine in me since I'm not staying down in Vancouver. There is no reason to take all of my medicine with me, so I'm not going to be. I'm going to take my vape, um, but I'm not going to take my actual bolio because there's no reason. I'm only going down there for therapy, and then I'll be coming back home. I do love, and I don't know why I haven't worn it more. I have this awesome Lularoe. The only reason I think that I haven't worn it more is that the type of fabric that it is, like, my fingers tend to have, like it's rough. And that whenever I grab my shirt like this, I find that my thumb is getting attached to some of the threads on it, which makes me a little disappointed. I really like this over shawl thing, but the texture of it is itchy on my skin, and it feels like it would get snagged on things really easily, whereas it's a Lularoe is what this is. I really want to get a Lularoe, fuck, I forget what this thing is called. It has a specific name, like the dress I'm wearing is a Carly. I forget what this is called, but I want to get another one of these, but in the same fabric as a Carly, or the leggings, because the leggings are stretchy and like this like certain type of material. I would love to get one of these in that. That would be awesome. It's very highly doubtful that we'll actually get anyone to come hang out with me. And even if they did, I'd probably be done with the meeting before they even had a chance to say hello. Because I have to leave my house in a half hour. Meaning this meeting is probably only going to be like, I don't know, 20 minutes long ish. But its sole purpose is to help me digress my anxiety. Like, I could have sat in my room for the X amount of time before I left, but it would be more damaging to me if I had done that. So, coming here, spreading the content. Sometimes I'll spread the content not because I know that people will click on it and potentially come to the meeting, but simply because it's a way of having my Facebook have something else on it, because that's the only reason I'm on there, is because of my YouTube. But then I do use it for mild social interaction. Oh man, this is so itchy. Why are you so itchy? It's just shitty because Lularoe is not cheap. It's rather expensive actually. Like, this was like 50 and this was like it was expensive. I want to say it was over 60. Like, it was expensive. Um but it helps a really good company. And the clothing is really cute. Like, I love the Carly dresses because it's like a t-shirt dress, but not just any t-shirt dress. It has a high-low, so the front is a little bit shorter than the back. Absolutely love the style. It's so cute paired with so many different things. Like, I have 3 Carly dresses. I could literally do wardrobes for pretty much all week with just those 3 dresses and then pairing it with other things. So, whereas like those 3 dresses come to $150, actually I think a Carly's $55. So it would be $115, but for $115, good quality, and it also goes with a lot of different things. And you're helping a really good company. Mooiisstt-ure for Hosie Posie. The titles, unlike some people, my titles will always give you an inclination of what the content is going to be like. I am not one of those people who do clickbaity titles. If my title seems clickbaity, that's all that it seems like it is, because it actually is going to have great information to what the meeting is going on. It's going to annoy me that I can't remember the name of this. I want to say it's a Sarah. I want to say that this is a Sarah. They have an amber. It's a hoodie. Not gonna lie, I will eventually have an amber. Honestly, I think some of their ambers would look so cute paired with their Carlys. Oh my gosh. Which I kind of live for that, because in middle school I had a friend named Carly. Carly and Amber. Carly is one of those names that you don't hear very often. And if you do, it's always spelled different than the way that you remember growing up. Alright. We got the content spread. Now I'm going to get Jaded Rose loaded. I'm going to put some of that purple punch on top of it. If you're someone who's tuning in like, ooh, early morning gaming. Nope, we're not playing the video game at all, actually. Fortnite will not be played whatsoever this morning, because if I do a match, that's going to take up the whole meeting. And this meeting simply needs to exist for me to, the same reason that any Club Kottontale meeting exists, for me to get my thoughts and feelings out, to talk with me, myself, and I, and hopefully get some other people. This thing is so fucking itchy. I can't even with it. I can't even with it. Now I know, unless it specifies that it is made from the same material as a Carly or the leggings, I won't be buying any more of these. I own 2 of them. This one actually fits me now. The other one, it stretches so it fits me, but it actually is a few sizes smaller than this one. But just the texture is so itchy on my arms, I feel like I need to wear a long sleeve. Which is not right, because the whole point of this being a long sleeve is that I'm wearing a short sleeve underneath it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Alright, Amber Motherfucking Lewis has shared a link. Yes, indeedy. Originally I wasn't even going to wear my headset, but I find that when I just do the camera microphone, you get a lot of interesting background noises, and I just don't want that, especially the fact that I have my air conditioner on. It's only on fan. That's one thing that is kind of interesting about air conditioners that I'd never really realized, that they don't just have a setting for AC. It has a setting for a fan and things like that. Alright. Pictures that you like, baby, I'm jealous. Wow, actually, that's literally perfect. It's literally 7:45 right this moment. That means that from right now, I have to leave my house in a half hour. So from right this moment, we have about 20 minutes with each other, which honestly, I'm kind of living for this. I got the content spread. So we have a nice little link on my Facebook. Maybe someone will click on it. It's only 7:45 a.m. on a Saturday. Most people in my time zone aren't up right now. Now, a portion of me is like, I don't even really need a bowl. To be completely honest, I don't even feel like I need to medicate right now. But I know as soon as I leave my house, my anxiety is going to rise. I have acute agoraphobia. I definitely struggle with leaving my house. And fearing things outside of it. Like, it's a rough go. But when I can come here to my club of Cottontales, do a nice little quick live stream on my channel, and then have some marijuanas, which helps calm my brain, and the CBD in it helps with any joint pains that I may be feeling. So, thank you to anyone that's with me right now, but you're watching incognitally because for whatever reason you don't have time to chat or whatever. I hope you're having a great Saturday. My Saturday is going to be pretty interesting. So I have Hosie Posie in the morning, but when we get back, it's not daddy-daughter weekend. Her dad uh, is going on a couples thing with his girlfriend and her friends. So this weekend it's just going to be me and Rainbow. And when he asked, it's the sort of thing like he owes me now. Like he is supposed to watch her on the weekend. Like I am taking over and covering for him, even though like, and a part of me kind of didn't want to, but at the same time, like I like having time with just me and my daughter. Um, it's just gonna be rough for me because I don't get social interaction during the week, and then I barely get it on the weekends. And especially on a weekend where I don't have the chance to do it, it's going to be really difficult. Um, I definitely foresee the next week being kind of rough, especially because I don't have any foreseeable company anytime soon. Um, there's lots of things wearing on me today, Uh, it is upsetting to me that my abusive ex already has a girlfriend and they are going to do fun things like like a weekend trip away. Like I can't help but think about at the beginning of our relationship, and now our relationship was it was all fake, because he didn't care about me, but it's shitty to know that like they've only been boyfriend and girlfriend for like not even a month and they're already going away on and staying at a hotel with each other. Like, what the fuck, universe? Like, I really that's the one thing that perturbs me the most, and it's jealousy on it. And it's not jealousy the way that people think. They're like, "Oh, it's your ex. Like, why are you jealous about that?" I'm like, I'm not jealous that he has a girlfriend. I'm jealous that I don't have a boyfriend. You know what I mean? I'm jealous of the fact that, I was the kind person in our relationship. I was the giver in our relationship, and he just receives. Like I don't understand. And it makes me think that bad people just get good things, even though like that can be true, right? Even though like that's what society always shows us, that the people who are truthful, the people who are kind, the people who are open, honest, and themselves, they get shit on, they get fake friends, they don't get a lot of positivity in their life, but it seems like they do because they're always looking at the positivity. But no offense, I'm kind of tired of looking at the positivity. Like, I just want the universe to give me something. I want the universe to. You know what I mean? Like. But I'm also, not going to sacrifice. Like, I already know that I could have had a boyfriend because there was this one guy that was crushing on me real hard. I know that I could have, if I would have asked him out, he would have said yes, but it wouldn't have been a proper relationship. It would not have been, what I am seeking from a spouse. Because I am kind of needy, you know what I mean? But I also really like my space. So I need someone who is going to, have an even amount of cling. So they're going to want to hang out. They're going to want to talk every day. And I find that that doesn't exist. At least I don't think it does. Because the one person that it did exist with was doing all of that to be manipulative, to pull the wool over my eyes. Oh, it's gonna be a rough weekend because during last weekend I didn't get any social interaction. And then this weekend, I thought that my sister Wolf was going to be coming to stay with me, so I didn't really contact anybody else because I thought that she was going to come. Didn't find out until Wednesday that she wasn't, and then I tried to hit some people up. Most of them haven't gotten back to me, so it's just going to be me, myself, and my daughter, and I have to, I'm going to start crying. I'm worried that I'm just going to have a weekend full of panic attacks because I haven't had any social interaction throughout the week, and it's really difficult to be a parent in general, but it's especially difficult when you don't have any support. And I'm already very exhausted from my week, and now I don't get to digress myself this weekend at all. I get to be the parent 100%. And some people are going to come at me like, oh, well, that's why you became a parent. And yeah, it is. But it's hard, and we need help. And when we ask for help, we think that we're going to get it. So it's rough when you don't. I've had a lot of feelings of just wanting to give up. Like, I will be talking to Hosie Posie about that today because the thoughts and feelings of just not wanting to continue to fight are so strong. Like, I just don't feel like I have any more fight. I know I do, it's just wearing really thin, and I don't want it to wear so thin that I do just give up. But this weekend is gonna be so hard. I don't know who I was kidding myself. I'm most definitely gonna come here to Club Kottontale as much as possible today. The only time it's possible will be during her nap time, so when she goes down for afternoon nap, I'll be able to come here if I am wanting or needing to. And then after she goes to bed this evening. So right now it's almost 8 o'clock in the morning. I will be ending this meeting by like 8:10, so here soon, like after I get this bolio in me. And then her afternoon nap is around 2:30, so around like 3 o'clock till about 4:30. You guys will see me in the afternoon. And then the evening time after I put her to bed, so 9 o'clock at night. Other than that, it's just going to be me focusing on being mindful to not let my own anxieties come out, to make sure that I do lots of fun things with my daughter this weekend, make sure to not dwell on any thoughts or feelings of loneliness and abandonment. I've come to realize that my biggest fear isn't spiders, it's not heights, it's not deep working water, it's not any of those things. It's dying alone. Just being alone. That is my biggest fear. Coming to that fruition the other day was kind of like just eye-opening to me that, I am very afraid of being alone for the rest of my life. And I think I've always been that way, but I've mentioned this a few times that this is the first time in my life that I'm even actively seeking romance. I'm never actively seeking romance. And honestly, at this point, I think I can honestly say that I'm not even actively seeking it because I'm not, going out of my way to flirt with people. I'm still really broken about Red Ranger, and I'm really disappointed in myself, but I'm not at the same time because I actually deleted the thread feed, which I'm proud of myself for. I texted Red Ranger. I can't tell you what I texted because I deleted the thread pretty much right after I texted it, but something along the lines of like, I've been thinking about you or something like that, and that's just damaging to myself because a couple things are happening. A, his phone is turned off and he never gets it. B, he got the message, he looked at the message and chooses to ignore me, and that is probably what's happened majority of the time. He either chooses to ignore me or he sees it and thinks he's going to respond but then doesn't. And I have to just sever that, you know what I mean? I have to be mindful that when the bait presents itself, to not take it. There's plenty of fish in the sea, and there's gotta be one for me. I also don't think that my sister is sick. I think that she's feeling mentally ill. So she doesn't want to come hang out with me, but I don't think she's actually physically sick. Because if she had been physically sick and she actually wanted to come hang out with me this weekend, she would have let me know. She just didn't want to come for whatever reason and didn't want to tell me. I already know that that's the truth. And it sucks. I wish someone cared about me enough to actually help me. I'm the only one that cares about myself enough to do any of it. And I'm struggling, and I've been telling people I'm struggling. Like, this is why people don't tell people things. This is why people are silently dying and hurting inside, because they're so scared to tell people. Because when they do tell people, no one listens, or when they listen, all they have is negative responses. Oh, it's gonna be a long weekend. And the shitty part is like, I don't even know. So, me watching Rainbow this weekend, it means that on like another weekend, I get to have the house to myself whenever I choose. You know what I mean? But at this point, like I want to have something fun, like how he's going away on a couples trip. I don't have anyone to be a couple with me, but I'd like to have like some girlfriends over, have a slumber party, or something like that. Like I don't want to just have the house 100% to myself, because I know exactly what I'll do if I have the house 100% to myself. I'll clean it, and then I'll feel lonely, and then I'll come here to Club Cottontale. That's like every weekend. You know what I mean? So on a weekend where I have him take Rainbow and I have the house to myself, like I wanna have something fun. But the shitty part is like there's no foreseeable future where that happens. The foreseeable future will be me just by myself. Oh, cheers to the universe. Universe, please, please, please give me all of the mindfulness that I need to get through this weekend, to hopefully not think about all of the things that are making my chest hurt right now. But most of all, universe, if there is someone that's wanting to hang out with me and can, if you could like send them my way, that would be really nice. It's not gonna happen. I know that. It's just gonna be me and Rainbow all weekend. And then all next week, my next me time, where I actually won't have to, because like later on today or this evening, if I have Cuntent, I'm still the only parent in the house, so 100% dictated by Rainbow. On Monday midday, if I have a meeting, that will be our first me time, and I'll have to like, I don't know if I'm gonna, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I really, really, really wish that I had someone coming over this weekend. This is gonna be just like the roughest weekend ever. It's sad that the social interaction that I'll be getting is from my therapist. And it's so funny, like, I talk to people, they're like, oh, I know exactly what you're feeling. Actually, no, you don't, because I see tons of posts of you hanging out with people. I see tons of posts of you being around people. You don't understand, because you're an introvert who doesn't want to hang out with people, and you have tons of people to hang out with. I'm an extrovert who has no one. And then when I do have someone to hang out with, my social anxiety fucks with me, so it makes it seem like I don't. You do not know what I'm going through. I have never met another person who has even had a fraction of what I go through. I've met people who have had little tidbits, you know what I mean? But then when I start talking about something like, oh, I don't get that. Like, I was talking to this one girl, and she's like, oh, well, I had postpartum depression, but that was it. Like, I don't really understand what you're going through. Like, oh, thanks. I'm so glad you don't know what I'm going through. And it makes me just think back to, like, when she had her postpartum depression, how, like, she would just go out every weekend and leave her child with whomever. You know what I mean? I would not do that. Like, I actually sacrifice my time more than people even realize so that I can be around my daughter, because she does come first. And that's why, like, when I have the time for me, and I'm trying to digress for me, it sucks that I can't, because I have so many people just, like, coming at me saying I'm a bad mom because I want to have time to myself. But yet, they don't understand. They don't understand if a person doesn't take that time for herself, she's gonna end up dead. I'm just telling you, the lurkers this morning, that's so wonderful. I find that if I'm crying, the lurkers come out to play, because people like to see a mentally challenged individual struggling. Why? I will never know. Like, why are you watching right now? Are you a new person? Do you not know who I am? So you're like, what the fuck is this? If that's the case, go the fuck head. You're gonna realize that it's just a place for me. Are you a returning Cottontale? Because if you're a returning Cottontale, why the fuck are you just watching? Because you already probably are very well aware that lurkers fuck with my anxiety. And there lies with it that you could be someone who knows that, and that's why you're doing it. Who knows why you're lurking, but you're lurking. I hope you have a great Saturday. Here in 5 minutes, this meeting will end, and I will go about my Saturday. Thank you, Amber Motherfucking Lewis, for coming to Club Kottontale to get that moisture for Hosie Posie. A place for me, a place to digress, a place to escape, a place to get all the thoughts and feelings out of my head. And a place for people to lurk and make me feel like shit. Because that does. It's lurkers hurt my anxiety more than anything, but it's a huge reason why I chose YouTube, because that triggers me, and I'm like, I don't want that to trigger me. I don't want that at all. So then I try to desensitize myself to it. But I will never truly understand, like, especially when I voice it. Like, most of the time when I voice it, the number disappears. But sometimes they're still watching with, like, what feels like binoculars. Like, oh, look at this crazy fat bitch. What's she gonna do next? I actually know that's an actual thing that people say, because they have recorded me. There's many, many, many videos out there of other people recording my content, and then they play it back in their channel, and they make fun of me. Which that happens to lots of YouTubers. Honestly, that doesn't even get to me, because that happens to a lot of people. What freaks me out about that is that happens to people who have more of a following. I don't have that type of following, so I don't understand how I end up in a compilation next to, like, Trisha Paytas. Like, it makes me feel good, not gonna lie. One person, God, this was like 2 years ago. This person was like, oh, this person's making a video of you and photoshopping and doing all this other stuff. And I'm like, okay. And, like, it was like one of the only times that I actually went and checked it out. And it was like a compilation with every, like some of them I didn't even recognize, but it had, like, Gabby Hanna, it had some Graveyard Girl, it had some Trisha Paytas, just people who are open and honest about their mental health challenges, and this person was making fun of them. And all I could just think is, You see me like Graveyard Girl? Like, that's literally all I can think of. I'm like, this bitch has literally almost 9 million people. You know what I mean? And I have 900, and I'm in a compilation video next to her. How is that going to make me mad? How is that going to make me sad? How is that going to even hurt me at all? And then I had someone that like, oh god, it's funny how much shit happens in that first year of making content. But then I had someone that was like, "Oh, like I know you in real life and I'm gonna tell everyone like what you do. Like, how would you feel if this person knew that you did this?" I'm like, I would feel fine about it. Like, apparently I'm supposed to feel ashamed that I talk about what I talk about. Like, how does that work? It's funny. Back in the day, I'm sure the 80s dolls from the Playroom thought, oh, we successfully beat her down to where she doesn't want to make content here no more. When that actually had nothing to do about it. Like, it was pretty consistently any single time I did a calisthenics with Kottontale in the Playroom, there was some dude who would take it and then Photoshop my clothing off to make it look like I was naked. Never watched the videos, but I've always been kind of curious to what he made my body look like. Because I got a lot of people who came from that, and they're like, ooh, I want to see what's underneath. Like, you sexy as fuck. And I'm just like, and then that's when someone was like, oh, this thing exists. And I was like, really? And that's when I was like, hello and welcome to all the people that came from the 80s dolls video. Sad to tell you that was photoshopped and I don't get naked. And I think I was playing Grand Theft Auto 5 at the time. I was like, I can show you boobies in the game. Half of the people are like, well, this is clickbait. And then the other half are like, you're cool. I don't know why they were saying that shit. And I'm just like, that's how it goes. So, like, honestly, if you're someone who's trying to do content and you're not like me, like, you want that clout. Do weird shit. Because then it will get you noticed by someone else, and then they'll do a bunch of shit that you want them to do. For me, I don't want them to do that. And the weird shit that I do is just me being me. Oh, man. Alright, bitch. Actually, you know what? Thank you, Lurker, because honestly, that anxiety that is given me has helped me to desensitize myself to it, and I feel really good right now. So, thank you to the one person, whoever you may be. Here real soon, I have to end the meeting, and then go to Hosie Posie. Hosie Posie so very much needed. Amber need Hosie Posie. Amber want an Ice Bear plushie. Amber wants a lot of things. You know, honestly, Amber would gladly take nothing. The one thing I want more than anything in the world is just a place that I can maintain for me and my daughter. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It doesn't have to be exuberant. It just has to be mine. Just a little hole in the wall that I don't have to worry about losing to some other entity. Well, more than I already will feel. A place for me to grow, thrive, and evolve constantly and help my daughter to do the same. Place where I can just live my life out. I would gladly give away all of the little mundane things to have that. Because you create your joy in your own place. Like, I'm not going to lie though, I appreciate having all my little figurines and things like that because, you know, it brings a lot of joy. But I tell you right now, looking at this right now, Batman does give me a lot, but out of everything that I'm looking at right now, Boulder gives me the most joy. And you want to know how much Boulder was? Free. Because he was a rock that walked me home on the ground from nature. Out of everything that's sitting on there, Batman's a close second. Boulder is the most expensive and priceless thing sitting before me. You could get rid of all the rest of it. Well, I might need that vape. I could probably still use that vape. But even if I didn't have the vape, if I had Boulder, I could bring myself to a place of happiness. I'm going to bring him with me, actually. I've been really looking at Boulder a lot lately because I get made fun of a lot for him. I get made fun of for a lot of things, but especially my pet rock. Whenever I share him, there's always someone who laughs. And then when I mention how I don't like being laughed at, guess what they do? They laugh harder. And they go, it's the internet. And I go, I get that it's the internet, but I'm not the internet. I'm a person. So if you can't think like, oh, yes, it's the internet, but maybe I should treat this person the way that they're treating me, then you're just as bad as every other person. Because the internet, any platform for that matter, it is not what you perceive it to be. The internet is not a place for people to go and say that they feel like cutting your cat's head off and fucking its body. It's a place that people use it for. But that's not what it's there for. It's there for anyone to have their thoughts and feelings. So you're going to get that, thens, and everything else. Most people only pay attention to the negative stuff. Most people only see the negative things. It's why, like, I can make 100 videos talking about my positivity, but I do one where I'm crying and talking about how I'm lonely. That's the one that everyone's going to notice. That's the one that everyone's going to talk about. That's the one that people are going to perceive you from. And that's how the internet works. The sooner that you realize the internet is like that, the better that you can utilize it for your own purposes, like I do. But I still don't like it. Like, the thing that frustrates me about that is it's not complete strangers. I only say that to people who I consider maybe could be a friend. If you're a complete stranger, I don't give a fuck what you say to me. But when it's a person that I feel like I'm making a connection with, they might be my friend, I'm going to voice that they're making me feel that way. And then when they go, oh, it's just the internet, bro. I'm like, okay, bro, well, I'm just a person, homie. And honestly, I treat them that way in person. And they go, what are you doing? You're acting like I'm on the internet. I'm like, well, that's how you acted. I'm like, I was being real there. So I'm going to treat you the way that you want to be treated. I think that no matter where you're at, you should always be real. You know what I mean? Don't be that person who's adding to the cesspool. Be that person who's pulling themselves out of it and choosing to be themselves. Not because it's easy, but because it's what you should do. And I have to end the meeting, like, now. I don't want to. I kind of don't want to do this whole weekend. Well, Cottontales. I'll see you this afternoon. Hopefully it's for just like positive talking and not to escape, but I don't know. That's future Amber. Present Amber is running late at this point. So until next time, always be kind to yourself and everyone else, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Ooh. Here till the end. Oh, Jesus, fuck. Okay, I see you.